All right, so the last 2 days we've been out here on Lake Michigan in Milwaukee fishing for these big salmon. Now, a lot of people don't necessarily take into consideration all the things that they probably should when they're down here this time of year. Number one being the water temperature. The water temperature right now is only about 60 degrees. And the reason it's been so low, the temperature's been so low the last couple days, is because we've had a pretty strong west wind. So out of Milwaukee, blowing west, all that water that's in the harbor right now is blowing out. So all that warm water is blowing out and cold water is coming back in. It's kind of recirculating itself. But those king salmon are attracted to that cold water, so they start to move into the harbors this time of year when that cold water comes in. And, they're getting ready to spawn and do their thing. And, after they turn 4 years old, they die off anyway. So you don't have to feel too guilty about coming down here and keeping a king salmon. So when you guys are coming down here, look at number one, the weather. If you've had a couple days of west wind, the fishing should be really good, just like it's been for us now the last couple days. If it's blowing out of the east, be very careful coming down here, not only because of the water temperatures, but any wind out of the east, even the slightest 5-10 mile-an-hour winds, can cause some really big waves out here, and you can see small craft advisories with not too much wind out here. So keep an eye on that. Stay safe down here. It's a great fishery for everybody as long as you do it safe. So get down here and check it out. Alright, so we've been catching a lot of fish on the Gamakatsu darter head jigs, tipped with a white gulp. But that's, not necessarily the only thing we've been using down here. We've been using a lot of other products. I want to talk to you guys about some of those products. Now, one of the big things we're using down here that, a lot of people started using the last couple years is just your standard Rapala jigging wrap. That symbolizes a goby on the bottom darting off in different directions, and those salmon, just like the walleyes up on the bay, really love that action and they start hitting that bait. The other thing we've been using a lot down here is the Mendota rig by Slop Frog. Now this serves kind of a different purpose. It's kind of got that white, we use the white one, and that's been signaling the ale life. So there's a lot of ale life in the system right now, and that's what these salmon tend to be feeding on. So by bouncing that white tube jig across the bottom, we're signaling a lot of fish and getting a lot of strikes on both of those two baits. Now another one that guys use down here quite often is Authentic X, and in the white version specifically. And this has been a great bait for us for walleyes as well as these kings. So you can see on here that this bait right here is proven to be a very, very good bait for kings over the years. And we may not have caught them on it this week, but if anything we've learned down here the last couple days is this bite changes so quickly. And they're biting on one thing today, but tomorrow they could be biting on something totally different. I mean, there's guys down here that are trolling as well, and they use anything from flicker shads, husky jerks, all the way down to your spoons and other equipment. So it's a very interesting fishery down here, and watching how these fish react to different style baits that a lot of people don't think about is you guys can come down here with walleye gear and get these fish. Maybe put a little bit heavier pound test on from time to time on your trolling gear, but you can actually come down here and run your deep diving husky jerks, the number 12s, and catch a lot of big king salmons, as well as, like today, we had browns and rainbows as well. So come on down.